Hi everyone, welcome. This is going to be the guided meditation that I promised you. Protected by Archangel Michael. We're going to be taking a journey from our root up to our hearts. We're going to move through our shadow to rest in divine will. So you're going to start by finding a comfortable position. I would recommend seated, but if there's another position you're comfortable in where you're able to still stay alert and focused, then taking that position. And wherever you end up, definitely want you to be able to have a connection to your sit bones, which is why I would suggest sitting. If you are sitting, you can pull the flesh back near your sit bones so that you can really start to feel your sit bones rooting down into the floor. If you have a cushion underneath you, it might be a little less noticeable, but you should still be able to feel them. Seeing if you can line the crown of the head up as if kind of that center point between your sit bones. If you drew a line from the crown of the head down, you would reach that center point. And once you have that, we're going to start with our hands on our knees. If you're in a different position, you could start with hands on belly, if for some reason you were laying down. But let's just assume that you're in some sort of seated position. You're going to start with hands on your knees, down. You start to close the eyes. Start to feel the kind of skin around the cheeks and the jaw start to slack and kind of draw down. Almost as if you're much older than you are now, and you have a lot of loose skin. So that kind of feeling there in the face. Tongue resting against the back of the teeth or resting against the roof of the mouth. Remembering that line from the crown of the head drawn down right in between the sit bones. And if you haven't begun, to take some deep breaths, beginning that now. So breathing from the belly, drawing up into the upper chest, and releasing back down. And with the palms turned down, should begin to feel a bit of grounded energy. That's why we have the palms down, so we can start to feel grounded into those sit bones and into this body as we breathe. And we're going to start to call Archangel Michael in by envisioning a blue flame and seeing if you can bring it right to your third eye center, the space between your eyes. Allowing the blue flame starting to take shape there. Feeling its protection over you. You might even begin to notice Archangel Michael's presence around you, surrounding you. And once you feel that protective nature surrounding you, you can start to let go of the hold of that image a bit, allowing the clarity that that flame brings. To start to flow throughout your body. And when you're ready, we're going to start to turn the palms up, so they face up. And take a moment, just feeling that spaciousness starting to circle in the palm. Beginning to notice a bit of a swirl, a bit of a whirlpool. The feeling of the space opening but drawing downward. You may start to feel a bit more tingling below the heart into the solar plexus and into the belly. Starting to connect to some very deep waters. You may become aware more of your sit bones now as we move into your root. We're going to start to bring the middle finger and the thumb to touch, as if igniting a fire, a small flame. Small blue flame. And as we settle around the root and we have this blue flame, and you have the Shuddhi Mudra, you can start to set that on the top of this very dark and deep water. It's as if there's, a floating candle, floating blue flame on top of this water. You might have just one, you might have several. we're going to begin to travel below the surface into this water. So you can begin to see yourself, if you'd like, in that water, with your head just resting above, your body reaching below. Feeling a calm that surrounds you, feeling the blue flame or several blue flames encircling around you. Almost as if you're a capsule of sorts. And when you're going to slowly start to drop your head below the water in this capsule. And as you drop below, you're protected, you're safe. And if you glanced up, you'd see the blue flame resting on the surface. But you can feel the capsule taking you deeper. Again, safe and protected. Until you reach a point of complete darkness. Still feeling that capsule around you, recognizing that it is a thinner layer here. And that to maintain its safety and protective shield around you requires deep breaths, slow, steady breathing. That though the capsule may be dissipating a bit, you still have Archangel Michael with you, reminding you of your divine will. That seed that is planted in you, that is from God. That seed that is your protective shell, your protective layer. And that it exists even here in these very dark depths. And you begin to feel that it's not so scary down here. And that it may even be a bit familiar, as this is whence you came from. This darkness is where you were born. And any wounds that you've carried are healed with that recognition. Any wounds that began in your formation in this darkness, any wounds that began upon your entrance out of this darkness and into the light are healed here. The blue flame surrounding you, the blue flame within you burns stronger. And you begin to see that light is starting to trickle down and pierce even here. You feel the call to start to journey up. Remembering what you've learned here. Remembering what you've been shown. But not rushing. Letting those butterflies that begin to pitter-patter and fly around in the belly. That feeling of so much promise and possibility and excitement that you know is waiting for you above the surface. So you take that with you. You start to journey, beginning to see more of that light as you get closer. Feeling this whole, complete self that you are. And as you begin to reach the surface, your head begins to peek through, the eyes begin to open, and there's just glorious, glorious light shining down upon you. So much light and radiance. And you start to reach further out of the water. You're just lifted by a force unseen. The blue flames that have surrounded you in the water are now lifted and dancing in the air around you. Your heart and that divine will is ready. It has purpose. It knows. And as you come fully out of the water with your feet hovering above the water, the shell loosens. Your arms start to float away from the body a bit, the feet floating away. And you are here. You have arrived. You allow your feet to settle back down on top of the water. And you can let your middle finger and index finger release, feeling that lift through the palms. The palms can float off the knees. And you're going to bring your palms together, sealing the hands, drawing the thumbs toward the center of the chest. We'll open our eyes gently, taking in our surroundings, feeling the sit bones beneath us, and giving thanks to Archangel Michael